Absolutely not. Firstly, I was completely scared of heights, and secondly, I wasn't sporty at all, and I hated running. So there is no way I would have ever been an ultra runner or mountaineer. Yes, many times. When I was up in the Lake District, I was training with a guy called Josh Wade, who absolutely ran me off my feet and was miles ahead of me. Admittedly, he's one of the best ultra runners in the country. But actually, when I first went to Chamonix, there's this big race called the UTMB, and it was a race around Mont Blanc. It was 100 miles. I'd never heard of ultra running before. And I remember looking at this race and just thinking, that sounds the most insane thing ever. How can anyone run 100 miles around a mountain, that terrain? But that's kind of what I'm working towards now, and doing that sort of stuff. So yeah, I mean, you just got to keep at it, I think. It depends what it is. I think I've always finished every race I've done, however bad I feel. And I think when you start it, you're either committed to doing it or not. And if you are committed, you will get through regardless. But when you're on a mountain and things don't go to plan, you've got to readjust and work out what is and what isn't possible. In 2015, I was obviously adamant to summit Everest, really keen. Was going to do everything I could to summit, and then we got caught in the Nepalese earthquake. And although in some ways you could carry on, you've got to kind of change everything, and you've got to readjust your mind. And it's about knowing when to, what's just, what's possible, and then what's realistic, and you've got to readjust that in your own mind. I think there are times when you're out of your comfort zone. I think that's really good, and actually going and doing these adventures, it is good to kind of keep pushing yourself out of your comfort zone. There are times when you're right to be nervous, and there are times when you kind of got to shake yourself and be like, you've got to kind of pull yourself together a bit. It's good to be nervous and push yourself through sometimes, but sometimes it's good to listen to your instincts. I would say you just got to go out and give it a go. I mean, even now, doing a 100-mile race, if I'm driving 100 miles, it really is really far. And every time I drive 100 miles, I think, how on earth do I cover this on foot? It's so daunting, but you have just got to give it a go. I know loads of people that are more than fit enough to do these races and want to do these races, but just haven't quite, aren't quite committed, or, maybe don't back themselves enough to complete it. But actually, you have just got to get on and do it, and they're more than capable of doing it.